What's up, guys? Welcome to the Crypto Savvy channel. I'm Craig. Let's get into the charts. We're going to take a look at the Dow Jones, DXY, S&P. Also going to take a look at that oil chart that I've been showing you guys for about 6 months now. We hit our first target almost perfectly. And then, of course, we'll be looking at Bitcoin. And then I want to show you my Tesla chart, see where we're at on that, and also BNB. Definitely stick around for the whole video. And at the end, I'll show you what I think is the worst case scenario for the Dow Jones, that being all markets. Remember, Bitcoin follows traditional markets. It's still a risk asset. The first thing people dump when things go bad. So let's take a look at what's going on. As you guys can see, this is the Dow Jones, right? This is on the daily. If we look at this here where we had, we had this high here, then we had a lower low right here, just like here, came up, wicked above this, right? Just like we did here. And what happened afterwards, a big drop. So this one I'm looking at about 30,221. We've had that target there for a extremely long time. If you look at the RSI, we had our 3 touches on the top, looking for the 3rd on the bottom. That doesn't mean we can't spike up one more time, but if it does play out like this one, it does show we've topped and headed down to here. If that breaks, we have a much lower target. And like I said, stick around to the end of the video. I'll show you my worst case scenario for the Dow Jones. And the S&P, we are still within this rising channel. We have not been able to cross above the heart line, the middle of the rising channel here, and hold yet. So if we do come down and break the bottom here, my first target, depending on where it breaks, if it breaks, we're looking for that 30, it's going to be about 3,500, right in that range. If that breaks, we have much lower targets down here. But if we look at it to be sometime in September, October, just like I think Bitcoin's bottom will be still. I've been saying that since December 2nd, 2021. I still believe September, October to be the Bitcoin bottom, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But as you can see, 2677, somewhere in that range, will be around that September, October time. If that breaks, it could be really bad, and I'll show you in the Dow at the end of the video. So looking at the DXY, we are back above our 0.5 fib here. Again, remember, now if we get some serious volatility and the dollar does have one more drop to test this falling wedge, that would be one more spike for Bitcoin, and that'd be around 31.5. We've talked about that for a long time if that was to happen. No guarantee that's going to happen. Taking a look at our oil chart. Remember, way back here last August, we made this chart. Told you if we broke this trend line right here, we'd come back up for a retest, which we did perfectly. And then when we were looking for 62.70 for a bounce, right? Which would be the bottom of this channel. Now, I did say look for a big bounce here. That's why it's marked. But I had said if once we break this, look for around 27 bucks. I still think that's a huge possibility. Remember what happened here when it went negative 40 back in 20. Could definitely happen again. So be careful. This is showing, all of these are showing the same signs that these markets have not bottomed yet. I know everybody's super bullish and the bull market's on and blah, blah, blah. I just don't see it, guys. Be careful. I could be dead wrong. Of course, none of this is financial advice, but so far, everything has been playing out. Nothing has changed in the macro. If you guys are interested in trading before we go into Bitcoin, check out my sponsor, PrimeXBT, by far my favorite exchange. They don't trade against you. They have a contest section right up here where you can actually trade for free with 0 risk and win. And if you do win, like this one here is $5,000 reward. This is what I'm trading with right now on this account, just to show you guys how it works. So I get to trade that because I won the contest, which didn't cost anything. And then you can put your trades in whatever you win off of these trades. So right now it's 2,670 in profit. I'm not putting stops in here because I left enough room. If we do get up to that 31.5, I'll probably add a little bit more in there. But as of right now, we are looking good in this trade. So if you guys want to try it out, check it out. I have a link down below. I'll leave a tutorial at the end of the video. Also, you can trade gold, silver, oil, aluminum, S&P, Dow, oil, all kinds of things on just one exchange. So you don't have to keep switching around to different exchanges and stuff. Definitely check them out. You can use my promo code Savvy50. That can get you up to a $7,000 bonus to use towards your margin. Savvy25 gets you 25% off your fees. Like I said, I'll leave a tutorial at the end of the video. And if you look at that, it tells you where to put the promo codes. All right. So looking at the macro on Bitcoin on the monthly, I've talked about this being a big 5-wave structure looking for a big correction down, which could get us as low as 3,500. But I do see us going to at least 12. Still a new low coming, maybe 96. But if that all breaks, then we're still looking for that 3,500. Looking at this as a huge falling wedge, right? You have a touch on the bottom trend line, touch on the top. Alternate touches, right? Touch on the bottom, touch on the top, touch on the bottom. Now, if we do get that one more spike up to that 31.5, maybe even 32 area, this could rise up a little bit because this would make this ABC a little bit longer. But either way, I still think there is a very good possibility we get down to these levels sometime in September or October of this year, as we've been talking about. Also, I showed you guys this hidden bearish divergence on this higher high on the RSI. If we look at it over here, lower high on the price action. We can even go from this peak. Higher high on the RSI, lower high on the price action, right? Hidden bearish divergence in the weekly macro. As of right now, if we look at the weekly, we are resting on the 8 EMA. So if the weekly closes below this 27.7, chances are we're heading down much further. 26.7 is our 13 EMA, and then our 55 EMA is around 26,000. 200 EMA be around 25.6, or I'm sorry, the 21 EMA 25.6, and then the 200 EMA right around 25. So if we do break below that 200 EMA, which is currently around 25,000, and hold below that, most likely this was the top, and we continue on down. Now let's take a look at the daily. So something I wanted to talk about real quick in the daily. As you guys know, this was our huge break here. We called all these targets on the way down. If you guys been around, you know that. So 31.5, that's where I still think there is a possibility we get there. I'm not ruling it out yet. It's getting less and less likely, but I'm not ruling it out yet. Remember, I had said I would be shorting somewhere below this 28.6. But what I did when I entered that short, I'll show you guys. I took the trend line right off of here. And when this broke, that's when I entered those shorts around 29.1 and 29, I think I got in. But as of right now, if you look at the daily, we are getting rejected at this 55 EMA, which is currently at 27.8, somewhere in that range. So if we open and close the daily above that, then we'll have our EMAs here somewhere around 28.4. If we break through them, we might get that one more leg up. But otherwise, I still see more downside coming here. And if we look at this bottom trend line right here, depending on how long this would take, if we do get down here and break this trend line, then we have our targets down in these areas, right? But here are my lows, 37.5. This could actually go up depending on how high. So let's say 12.2, 9,500, and 3,500. I'm still thinking 3,500 is going to hit. If you guys look at the RSI down here on the daily, we have plenty of room for more downside. Just something to be aware of. Like I said, I like to warn people. Everybody else is super bullish. Let's take a look at these targets here. That 28.6, that's a big range for me for bearish and bullish confirmation, right? So this was just looking at this white trend line here, falling wedge to where it broke out. That's where we got that 28.6 range, right? And then we look at the dotted line, looking at this as a falling wedge. Take a measured move of that to where it broke. And that's where we get that 31.5. So that's why I'm still cautious that that is still a possibility we get up to that range. We'll probably show some bearish divergence here on the daily chart. If we do get up to this 31.5, it'll be a lower high on the RSI, higher high on the price action, bearish divergence. Then we should come down to retest this trend line. Again, guys, this doesn't have to happen in a day, right? So looking at the 4 hour, this is something I wanted to show you guys also. Here's those same targets, 31.5, 28.7, that range, right? This could be an Elliott wave structure forming here in the 4 hour structure, which this would be a wave 1. This was wave 2. We're looking for a wave 3 and then a 4 and then a 5. We can throw the fibs on there real quick. Let's do that. So if we take the fib extension, go from the high to the low to the high, right? Being wave 1 and 2. Let's do that real quick here. So if it followed the traditional Elliott wave structure, right? Our third wave would get us down somewhere around 23,420. I'll go ahead and put a target there. 23,4, 23,5, and then bounce back up for wave 4, somewhere around this 25,8 range, and then get our fifth wave possibly all the way down to this 20,400 range. And then what this would end up being is a big wave 1. You get a 2 up, which would be a correction back up to the top, to where let's just show the high end of that. So let me get that off there. Let's put a retracement on there from the top of wave 1. This would be 5-wave structure within wave 1, and then you'd get a wave 2, maybe to the 0.618 range, somewhere around 27,000, and then you get our third wave all the way down into, you know, that 10-12 range, and get another fourth wave. And we'll follow along. So make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you're enjoying the video, make sure you smash the likes, help get it out there. And let me know what you think of the video in the comments below. But this will be a wave 1. Then we would get our 2, then our 3, maybe down to that 12,000 range. Then our 4, and then all the way down, right? And then this being just a big ABC. That's what I'm looking at right now. If we do look at the 4 hour, though, we did get a bounce perfectly. Was it perfect? Yeah. Perfectly off of our... Actually, we can go down for one more touchdown if we actually line these up a little bit better. So, yeah, we come back down for one more touch here for a bounce. So, still look for around that 25.8 right here. Now, I know it seems like a lot of numbers here, but if you follow along, you'll know what we've been looking for, and it'll make a lot more sense to you. You can also join the free Discord. Bunch of good people in there. Links down below. Doesn't cost you anything. Everybody likes to share their ideas and opinions in there. Here's the Tesla chart. As you guys know, we made this last year, about the middle of the year, and I told you watch for a break here. And I showed you all the bounce points, right? The blue ones were... These blue targets right here was where I was saying look for heavy bounces. We blew through the 151, but we got our heavy bounce off the 106, right? Got back up, got rejected at our 211. Still getting rejected there. Right now, our resistance is 183. Once we break the 151 again, we should come back down, test this 106, possibly get a bounce to 151. And then you guys know I'm a buyer somewhere between 40 and 50 bucks for Tesla. Now, the bubble theory that I've been talking about for a long time. This on the left is the Amazon bubble. This right here was a 100% rally. I talked about the false bottom having a 100% rally after hitting it, which now I believe to have been in November, right? I was expecting it to be the beginning of the year, but nevertheless, it broke our weekly trend line just like it did over here that we were looking for, and then coming up to only turn around and come back down for another test towards the bottom on the weekly, right? Which I still believe is where we're at, where we're going. Remember, bubbles always return to where they began, guys. Always return to where they began. Here's another one. This was Nintendo. Same thing. It began over here, returned, and you can see the big rally, bear market rally, get everyone bullish, only to continue to the downside. Same thing over here on Sony. Sony had a bunch of false bottoms, right? And Sony and Nintendo still have not reached their new all-time highs. And it's been 15 and 20 years for those. So just be careful, guys. There's no reason to not look at it as, you know, everybody thinks that it has to go to a new all-time high every 4 years. That is not correct. Maybe it'll have cycles every 4 years, but it doesn't have to hit a new all-time high every 4 years, guys. So just be careful. I hate seeing people listen to all these bulls and getting wrecked over and over and over and over again. Look at where we're at. These same people that are saying we bottom, we're telling you to buy up here, up here, up here, right here, right here. We're still not even back to 50% of this yet, guys. Just be careful, man. I can't stress it enough. Make sure you smash the likes. Here's the FTT chart I was talking about, right? FTX when it went down. I've been talking about Binance doing the same thing, and it definitely looks like it's setting up for it. So it's something just to be cautious and be careful about, guys. I think it could get very ugly. And remember, I look at all the markets as a whole, and all the markets as a whole are not looking good. That's why I'm saying all this. Now, if you look at the Great Depression right over here on the right-hand side, look at how quick and how hard this fell. I know people say, oh, it can never happen again, blah, blah, blah. It does not have to be this bad, but this market structure is looking identical, guys. And look what's going on in the world around you. Look at interest rates. Look at everything. Nothing really makes sense, right? It's really crazy what's going on. And I think it's a big washout coming for the markets. They are going to be taking people's money in the markets. It's gonna get ugly, guys. And I think it could happen by the end of this year. So be careful. Be cautious. Love you guys. Make sure you smash the likes. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think of the video. Good or bad. Doesn't matter. I give you guys my opinion, what I see. Do with it what you will. I'm out. Have a great day and see you in the next one.